like a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream, fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Now Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Deaf Queen, the top supporter scene, in the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
Sunday night, 6 p.m. Oh yeah, engines roar, lights go dim. Yeah, yeah. Drama's high, hearts are race. Ooh, feel the heat, feel the pace. Oh yeah. Speed and thrill, never slow. Zoom, zoom. Champions rise, they all know. They know. In the night, we come alive. Oh, SKR, we will drive. SKR at 6, 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned. Dayton's night, under lights. Oh yeah, every turn, every fight. Pulse is racing, here we go. Go, SKR, steal the show. Rev it up, race it fast. Living dreams as we blast. On this night, we won't rest. SKR, we're the best. Yeah, the best. SKR at 6, 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Yeah, we thrive. SKR at 6, fix. SKR at 6, 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Yeah, we thrive. Yeah, the best. Tires burn on the bends. Burn. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. Woohoo, SKR, world renowned. Yeah, the best.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, 'cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, oh George. He's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, oh George. He looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, oh George. He's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, oh George. He looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, oh George. He's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, oh George. He looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Yo, it's SKR, Season 12, let's ignite the track. Austrian Grand Prix, Round 2, we attack. Fast flow, spit fire, no looking back. Time to roll at 6 p.m., yeah, that's a fact. Yo, Canada's where it kicked off, round 1 in the fray. Big T dropped the hammer, Sauber's king today. 25 points, he's the boss leading the pack. We's the second Mercedes, bringing that smack. Defending champ from Laven, he's a lyrical beast. Jonas with the fastest lap, Red Bull unleashed. Pantry starts cooking, Ferrari's in the mix. I'm spitting these bars faster than them hairpin tricks. SKR, asphalt assault, tires screaming loud. Pedal to the metal, rising through the crowd. From Canada's cold streets to Austria's fight, Season 12 domination, we own the night. Yeah, rev it up, let it rip, no slack. Yeah, yeah, SKR, Kings attacking back. Red Bull rings the battlefield, 6 p.m.'s the call. 4.3 miles, 10 turns, we ball. Pandas in the game, steel grip on the wheel. Nismo's in the shadows, chasing that deal. 12 races deep, Britain to Japan. Reverse layout slip, yo, it's the racer's plan. Styrian hills echo the crowds in a roar. I'm dropping these rhymes like I'm burning the floor. SKR, asphalt assault, tires screaming loud. Pedal to the metal, rising through the crowd. From Canada's cold streets to Austria's fight, Season 12 domination, we own the night. Yeah, rev it up, let it rip, no slack. Yeah, yeah, SKR, Kings attacking back. Weeze, the champ, last year's crown still gleams, but Big Git teased the threat, living out his dreams. Jonas and the Bulls, they're gunning for the throne. Ferrari's pantry star, never racing alone. Every lap's a battle, mud and steel collide. SKR's the rhythm where the legends reside. I'm rapping this fast, like the speed of the race, leaving haters in the dust, put them in their place. SKR, asphalt assault, tires screaming loud. Pedal to the metal, rising through the crowd. From Canada's cold streets to Austria's fight, Season 12 domination, we own the night. Yeah, rev it up, let it rip, no slack. Yeah, yeah, SKR, Kings attacking back. Yo, round 2's in the books, 6 p.m.'s a sound. SKR legacy built, we're the talk of the town. From the track to the mic, we're setting it straight. 2025's our year, sealing our fate. Rev it up, let it rip, no end. SKR forever till the race transcends.
Liam Lawson rolled into Red Bull's gates. Kiwi kid with dreams so great. 2 races in, he hit the wall. Max Verstappen wrecked him, y'all. He thought he'd shine, but oh sweet son, Max chewed him up like a 2-day run. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see, from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Daddy Rick tried with his big old grin, but Max spun him out, said I always win. Gasly and Albon, they took their turn, crashed and burned, oh how they yearned. Perez hung on till his tires were flat, now Liam's gone, imagine that. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see, from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Red Bull barn's a lonely place. If you ain't Max, you're out of the race. Liam packed his boots, said I'm done, I reckon. Max just smirked, next victim's beckoning. The pit crew sang, he's too dang fast. Every teammate's a thing of the past. Now Lawson's back with the junior squad, singing why'd I think I'd beat that god. Max's shadow looms so tall and wide. Another teammate's pride just died. From Daniel Pierre out of Checo too. Liam learned what we all knew. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max is on another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. So here's to Liam with a beer and a side, 2 races down and a wide-eyed try. Max keeps winning that Dutch tornado, Red Bull's second seat, a big oh no.
Like a shooting star, the engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR calls to play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. Not Fernando calls to play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, holy friend. Deaf queen, the top support to see. In the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see.
Sunday night, 6 p.m. Oh yeah, engines roar, lights go dim. Yeah. Drama's high, hearts are race. Ooh, feel the heat, feel the pace. Oh yeah, speed and thrill, never slow. Zoom, zoom. Champions rise, they all know. They know. In the night, we come alive. Oh, SKR, we will drive. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned. Dayton's night, under lights. Oh yeah, every turn, every fight. Pulses racing, here we go. SKR, steal the show. Rev it up, race it fast. Living dreams as we blast. On this night, we won't rest. SKR, we're the best. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. SKR at 6. Fix. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to SKR at 6 p.m. on a Sunday. Of course, we're about ready to go. Last week, we started off season 12. That was in Canada at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Tonight, round 2, we're at the Red Bull Ring. Of course, in real life, the guys raced at the Red Bull Ring just a couple of hours ago, and what a race it was. That race went to Lando Norris. Things looked pretty iffy in that opening stint of the race. Didn't really know who was going to take it. So unfortunately, McLaren split them in those pit stops. Of course, there is a poll up. If you have time to vote on the poll, let me know. Have you watched the F1 movie? Are you planning to watch the F1 movie? Yes or no? Already a lot of cars out on their outlaps. Of course, in SAFRL last week, we did this circuit in reverse. Looked very, very different that time round. So back to the normal format of the circuit for tonight, and of course on Tuesday when we return for SAFRL, well, it's going to be this venue as well. We're riding with Nismo currently at the end of his outlap. He's about to start a quick lap. Let's ride on board with him. Get a good look at the circuit for the first time this evening as he head up the hill into turn 1. As much of that outside curve, not too much. Of course, very, very easy to invalidate your lap around this circuit. I've seen many, many penalties given out in races here in Austria on this channel. It's just one of those racetracks. To get the ultimate lap time, you need to use all of the tarmac, and sometimes you just don't know where that limit is. Maybe you do, but you're just tempted anyway. One of the shortest circuits on the race calendar. Guys get around here very quickly, just over a minute. And there is your first lap time at Ulrich. Told you just over a minute, a 1 minute 049. Let's see what Nismo can come up with. He's going to be the second man over the line. And he goes to the top of the timesheet, so 1:04.7, 2/10 quicker than what Ulrich did moments ago. Smurf over the line. This is to start a quick lap. Virus has gone over the line for a 1:04.9. Almost identical lap time to Ulrich, just 6,000ths of a second between those two. Another thing we tend to see here in Austria, much like Brazil, because it's a short race circuit, we tend to see these gaps come down a heck of a lot. So we might see a very, very close field, and a couple of tenths might be the difference between a top 5 start and a bottom 5 start. Already quite a few of you watching. Good to have you. Where is Visor? I don't see him in the comment section. He would have flooded the comment section by now. Visor, you're late once again. And let's take a bet when he gets here. He's probably going to tell me I'm echoing, which I probably am. But I think I figured out the problem. I just need to sort it out. That's a big spin from sensor fault, and that was a fault. A fault in his driving this time round, made a mistake. 1:60 his best time, so he has set a lap time. We've still got 5 drivers without lap times. This is one of them. One of the 2 Williams drivers, one of 2 drivers that missed round 1. Some internet issues at home. He's already not off to the best start of the season. You want to be there in round 1, you want to get as many points as possible. So you start on the back foot. This guy will be looking for a strong race tonight. It's the other driver that missed the race last week. That was Andre. He's up in P6 of 105.6. Currently 3/10 faster than Skull. We know those two drivers tend to be a lot closer together than that. So that suggests Skull has more time in that car. Remember, as this session goes on, these times are just going to come down. Drivers get more confident. They lean harder into the corners. There's less risk. Of course, at the beginning of the session, the last thing you want to do is crash on your initial lap. It means you'll take no further part in qualifying and start the race from the rear of the field. And there he is. Weiser said his name about a minute or two ago, and he appears. We're riding with the McLaren of Andre. Of course, those two McLarens were at the top of the field today in a class of their own. Just disappointing that McLaren split them in that pit stop. At the top of the field, Weeze has gone to the top of the field. First driver into the 103s, it's a 103.8. Next best is Tian, 104.3. Then Nismo 104.7, and then we get a bunch of close lap times. 104.9, 104.9, 104.9. Virus Uber, Landry Star. I think these lap times will still get closer before the end of the session. It's a short racetrack. It's something we've become accustomed to. Good evening there to Visor in the chat. Good to have you. Earlier on, I also saw Anita in the chat. Good to have you back. Anita joined us last week for round 1. Said she quite enjoyed that. It's good to have you back. Spikes finally gets a lap time over the board with 10 minutes remaining to 104.8. 104.8. Good lap time as a benchmark, but he needs to get on with it. Just 9 minutes, just over 9 minutes remaining in the session. One driver still out on track, looking for a lap time. And that is Smurf, currently in P17. He would go from the rear of the field if the checkered flag were to fall. Needs to get a lap time on the board. I doubt very much that he's been sandbagging and waiting till the very end. I wouldn't be surprised if Smurf has been doing his laps. He's just been invalidating them. It's something very common around this race circuit. Caution in sector 1, but no need to worry. Smurf over the line. Will this be the lap time? Yes, it is. It's a 105.5. It's good enough for just outside the top 10. P11. With Weeze, the only driver in the 103s, he's about to start another lap. We just left that car at a very bad time. I think he just got a little bit out of shape on the exit, and you can see immediately just backing off, getting invites to play F125. Unfortunately, guys, as you can see, I'm watching F125. Switch off notifications. It's all Weeze, Tian and Nismo. Those are your 3 quickest drivers. This is Nismo just winding up for a lap. See him going slow into the final corner and just trying to maximize the traction onto that straight into turn 1, out of turn 1. And he's backed off, has he? He's backed out of there. Another driver who's out of position, Libby, down in P9, 105.3. It's a driver we know can go quicker than that. Faisal already having fun with his favorite driver in the comment section, Harsh Cartoon. I'm not sure what's after that. It seems to be an abbreviation for something. This is the driver we were speaking of, Harsh Cartoon. .6.8, slowest time on the track so far. He's looking for an improvement, any improvement, but it's going to have to be a big improvement if he doesn't want to start from the rear. He's going to have to get 0.8 of a second just to catch the man in P16. Once he can do that, there's a handful of lap times there that are pretty close together. Get himself out of P17 and more into something like P12. But it's going to have to be a very impressive lap time. This is Harsh Cartoon around the final corner. Let's see what he can come up with. Previous best, a 106.8. It is an improvement. I said maybe P12, not quite, but P13 it is. That means sensor fault is now the man that's being demoted to the rear of the field. The only driver in the 106s, barely, 106.0. We'll be looking to dip into those 105s and make some progress up the field. Guys are saying L Harsh Cartoon. Don't give Harsh Cartoon an L. He just went P13, make that 14. Sensor fault up into P6. That's a 104.9. Very nice lap time. Left things pretty late, but I think he'll be relieved. He's reigning champion from season 11, runner-up in round 1. Looking to correct that tonight. Guys are saying, retire the car, please. Retire the car. Wheels on 103.8. Quickest driver, the only driver in the 103s. And these notifications are really going crazy tonight. That's a big spin by Wheeze on the exit. Watches the Red Bull fly by. Not the way he was playing to end this session. That was the Red Bull he saw fly by. That was Virus. He joined him just on the exit of turn 1. This will be his final run. It won't be, there's still a bit of time in the session. Just under 2 minutes. Short race circuit. Can't get around here pretty quickly. I think everyone in the field still has at least one more run in them. Don't take that order too seriously. Everything could still flip before the checkered flag. Welcome to Blade in the chat. Good to have you. Was great support last week on round 1 for SKR and SAFRL. Both those videos going over the 100 view mark, so thanks to all of you. Virus about to go over the line. That's a nice improvement. Takes him up to the second row. But there's still time in this session. There's still a lot of cars in the pits. Still a lot of cars on outlaps. Doesn't mean it's going to stay there. Tian, 104.0, second best. Wheeze, 103.8. He's the quickest. This is Ulrich. He was the first man to set a lap time earlier on this evening. And that's not what you want to do. Get some grass on the tyres right down the main straight. Into saying it's much more enjoyable than the real race. Race today wasn't that bad. Well, the first stint of the race, absolutely amazing. Wheel-to-wheel racing. Nobody really willing to step down. Unfortunately, at least for me, I thought McLaren did them dirty. I think those cars were a little bit too close together, and McLaren split them on purpose. It would have been fantastic to see those two wheel-to-wheel for the entirety of the race, but I can assure you they probably wouldn't have finished 1-2. They would have made contact at some stage because nobody was backing down. This is Captain Slow, not the name I would pick as a racing driver. I want slow in your name. Just interesting there on the poll. I asked the question earlier, have you watched or are you planning to watch the F1 movie? Yes or no? Currently 56%. Just leaning towards the yes for now. Pretty mixed reaction. I have watched the movie, and I must be honest, I went into that movie, let's say, reluctantly. Wasn't expecting anything too great. In fact, I was expecting something awfully cringe. But I have to say, I was surprised. There were a few moments where it's not exactly realistic, but it's Hollywood. You've got to make the story interesting. But other than those few moments, I really enjoyed it. And if you want to see some amazing camera angles, amazing shots, it's really impressive what they were able to do there. Q1 has come to an end. Weeze, he was the quickest driver, nobody able to get that P1 away from him. Of course, he was runner-up in round 1, and he's looking to correct that tonight. Visor saying, L movie. Visor, have you watched the movie? So, probably the element about the movie that irritated me the most, and I can say this because it's not a spoiler, is in real life Brad Pitt is, I think he's 60 years old. And in the movie, well, they never really mention his age in the movie, but I'm pretty sure he's playing a 60-year-old driver. Because apparently, back in the day, he raced with Senna. So that's a driver that raced in F1 briefly and made a return after 30 years, showing Alonso how it's done. Alonso still got another 20 years in him, according to that movie. And I can confirm that Guthrie Steiner makes a brief appearance, and in that very brief appearance, he uses the F-bomb. There we go, that's the end of qualifying. Just waiting for your results to pop up on the screen so we can go through them. We saying Crofty and Martin were a walking tutorial through the entire movie, holding your hand through all of it, and it was a little annoying. I think, of course, for F1 fans, we didn't need anyone to hold our hands. We have a very clear understanding of the sport, so that would have been a little bit annoying. But I think, much like Drive to Survive, I think they would use this movie to even try and reach an audience outside of F1. Problem is, some of the strategies and racing that was advertised in that movie, well, some of it would get you a straight up race ban. I don't think we got the results there for qualifying. The screen just moved on straight to the race, so apologies there, we weren't able to read through the results, but that's the game for you. It's pretty unpredictable. We're looking now at the empty pit lane. All of the drivers will be to the right hand side of your screen doing their final preparations for the race. Question now turns to, what tyre am I starting on? How many times do I intend to pit? Do I anticipate a safety car? Of course, there's a few things you can do. You can underfuel in anticipation of a safety car, but sometimes that safety car doesn't come and you have to lift and coast at the worst possible time. So there's risks to be taken, there's gambles to be taken, and the first roll of the dice happens right there on the grid, long before you even see turn one. Some messages for the drivers while they're sitting there on the grid. Death Queen, good luck to everyone. And then Visor, good luck to all, and especially for Liam Harsh Cartoon. Liam Harsh Cartoon. Oh wow. Liam Harsh Cartoon. Let me know in the chat, have you heard the news that in the event of Marco leaving Red Bull at the end of 2026, the driver advisor role may be replaced at Red Bull with none other than Sebastian Vettel. Anita saying good luck to all of you. Let me know in the chat, are you biased? Are you supporting anyone in particular? Let me know. I know who Death Queen's supporting. Of course, Death Queen was one of the first viewers here on the channel. She's been here since the beginning. And Death Queen, you know, I was looking through the NFR archive the other day, and you know, we've done 6 seasons of this. Now the formation lap will give us another opportunity to have a look at the field, because obviously we missed the results at the end of qualifying. It's going to be Weeze going from provisional, well not provisional, he's going to be going from pole position, your reigning champion and runner-up in round 1. Then Tian, the winner from round 1, pole sitter from round 1, he's going to be going from P2. Then we've got Nismo and Spikes on the second row. They're going to be followed by Ulrich and Virus in P5 and 6. Then we've got Sensor Fault and Pantry Star 7 and 8. Then the 5th row of the grid, Levy and Andre. 11 and 12, Captain Slow and Top Gun. 13, 14, Skull and Smurf. 15, 16, Disguised Bear and Skulk. And going from the rear of the field, Pfizer's favourite, Harsh Cartoon. That's crazy, Death Queen. There in the archives on the channel, it goes back all the way to SAFRL season 6. I think that was the first season I did. It was season 6. All the thumbnails for the entire season looked exactly the same. They were just a red book. I was learning. 5 red lights, and that means go. It's going to be Mercedes versus Sauber into turn 1. There's also an RB, there's also an Aston Martin, everybody getting involved, but everybody going through cleanly. Let's go down the field to see if everybody else got through cleanly. We don't see any carbon fiber flying around in the background. We don't see anybody on the grass. Looks like the whole field has got through. Harsh Cartoon made a good start to the race. He started from the rear of the field, made 2 positions. He's already lost one of those positions. And back up into 15. So Havoc at the rear of the field. Something we saw today in the real life race was lapped cars causing havoc in the race. Of course, we're not going to have that issue here on SKR because the lapped cars do ghost. I promise you, if they didn't, we'd have some pretty interesting calls to the stewards almost after every race. Dion after lap 1, 110.7. It's just the first lap of the race. That purple lap's going to come down a lot by the end of this. 36 laps. It's a very short race circuit, gives us a high total of laps. Dion, Wheeze, Spikes, Nismo, Sensor Fault, Virus, Levy, Pantry Star, Skull, and Captain Slow are your top 10. And Wheeze and Dion measuring each other up. Again. Just don't read too much into the predicted strategies that the game provides. They're usually very far off. What we can do in the meantime is have a look who's doing what on what tyre. Wheeze leads the way from Tian. Spike still in P3. No changes really at the front. Andre still in the points in P10. Skull in P9. So both of those drivers that missed round 1, they are in the points. Tonight's going to be important for both of them to get on that points table after having already missed 1 round. Of course, in the in real life race today, no points for Williams and no points for Red Bull. It's been a very, very long time since Max Verstappen has not finished the race. Tian leads from Wheeze. Remember, Tian was the winner in round 1. He was the pole sitter in round 1. He went on to win the race. It wasn't an easy race. Wheeze chased him all the way. Wheeze doesn't want a repeat of that result tonight. He wants a victory. He wants to balance things out on that Drivers' Championship. Tian will be pushing him to the very end. Everyone here in the top 3 on a set of medium tyres. They have started to run away from the rest of the field. Nismo 1.7 seconds, 1.8, 1.9. So that RB falling back from these top 3. Still have Absolutely love that livery. The white RB. Of course, we got the white Red Bull. I think it was last year in Japan, the livery that never actually got used. The race got washed out. Did get a version of it this year in Japan. But I think it looks fantastic on that RB. Go now to the man down in P9. One of the drivers I said that missed round 1, looking for points in round 2. And he's going up against a driver that has exactly the same problem. Both of them missed round 1, both of them desperate to get in the points for round 2. Both are in the points at the moment, P9, P10. That's just 1 and 2 points. Would like to get higher up this field if possible. Of course, we haven't seen any stoppages in the race. We haven't spoken about weather. I think if there was any ominous weather, a driver would have jumped in the comment section and let us know. So I don't think weather should be an issue. Let's just ride on board with Skull. Look up towards the sky. Well, there is a bit of a dark grey cloud there on the left hand side. There's 2 stoppages that could happen in this race. Maybe not stoppages, rather interventions. One would be rain, and the other one, well, you guys know what the other one is. Don't you say that name. This is Harsh Platoon at the rear of the field, P15. Ulrich. In a bit of a lonely race. It's not fun. 7 seconds behind the car in front, 28 seconds ahead of the car behind. You're all alone. Feels like you're having a private practice session. Sometimes it can just lull you to sleep a little bit. The mistakes creep in. And that applies whether you're at the front or the back. When you just get into that bubble, no one really ahead, no one really in the mirrors, that's when mistakes can creep in. Anita saying TV is frozen, please help. I do have the stream running on a second screen here in the comms box, and it appears to be playing on my side, so just anybody else in the comment section, just give me confirmation. Is the stream looking okay? Can you hear me? And if everybody can hear me, then maybe Anita just give a refresh there on your browser or whatever device you're using to watch this on. Ah yes, Visor. Have you tried turning it off and on again? If you didn't know, that line was made famous by a TV series from the UK. I think it was called The IT Crowd. Something like that. Guys are saying W stream, so it seems the stream is working. So Anita, please just give your browser a refresh, or whichever device you're watching it on, because everything does appear to be okay on this side. Dion still leads the race from Wheeze. Not much has changed. I think we could leave them to it for about 10 laps, go back, and still not much would have changed. Very, very close in pace, these two, and then they just have the consistency to match each other lap after lap. And then obviously there's that DRS factor. I've said it many times before. Spikes in P3 gets a 3-second penalty. We saw him going well wide out of the penultimate corner. And now penalties starting to pop up on the screen. Disguised Bear penalty, Levy penalty, Spikes penalty. These things come back to bite you at the end of the race. Especially if you just squeeze in a good result, squeeze in a podium and then look to the right, see that penalty next to your name and come to the realization that you're about to lose that amazing drive. Because of what is sometimes a very small error. Dion still out front, we still P2, this is Spikes, the man who said just picked up a penalty, he can't let that put him off. Sometimes we get a penalty like that or something happens in the race, it just annoys you that little bit, it just puts you off your driving. You need to be 100% focused, and if your mind is anywhere else, that's when the mistakes creep in. Spikes looking towards the inside. Spikes also now coming to the realization he can't simply sit in P3, he needs to make a move, he needs to use these tyres, he's got a penalty next to his name. If he wants to win this race, he's going to have to win this race by 3 seconds. And the men he's racing, he's got his hands full. This is going to have to win the race by 3 seconds from Tion and Weiss. Death Queen saying we need a... what is that? Again with these abbreviations. We need a what? I'm not sure what that is. Don't you say that name. Top 3 remain in the same order. Spikes did briefly go up into P2. Since gone back down to P3. Nismo. Haven't spoken too much about this driver, but look at him. He's a driver to watch. He's right there. He's right with the top 3. One stage in the race, the top 3 were starting to split away from the rest of the field. But I wonder now if those mediums are starting to go off. They've passed their peak. The track is now starting to come to the hard runners. Nismo is the lead hard runner. And now he's just coming back towards those top 3. And if they don't put soon, well, he's going to be amongst them. The best case scenario here for Nismo is if these 3 cars simply dived into the pits, gave him the free air, the clean air to go and set some blistering lap times. It's not going to be that easy. He's going to have to get past them on track. They're not going to pit just yet. Go over the line to start lap 12. Completed 11 laps now on the medium. Drivers to have made pit stops, other drivers at the rear of the field. Presumed for mistakes. This is Skull. Let's see what happened to him, but Skull is down in P17. Relatively fresh set of tyres, new set of mediums. I don't know if those mediums are going to be good enough to take him to the end. He's going to have to make another stop. So he'll be one of the drivers that's hoping for intervention. That's what it's called now. Intervention. I have no idea why, but when I say it the second time, it's a lot more dramatic. Intervention. Tion leads the way. Weiss in P2. Spikes now the driver in well, he was in P3. Nismo now starting to put the top 3 under pressure. It looked like the race was going one way. It looked like these top 3 We're going to disappear into the distance. But they're actually getting reeled back in. I was speaking about Nismo catching them, while Nismo's bringing Virus with him. And this battle of 3 cars has just become a battle of 5 cars. The top 3 all on mediums, the next 2 on a set of hards. And if pit stops don't happen pretty quickly, well, I think Pantry Star is going to be joining the end of that queue very quickly. Caution in sector 2. Lap 13 of 36. Hopefully that's all it is. Just a caution. Drivers will be watching that closely. If it says anything else, they're going to be diving into the pits. Lap 13 of 36. Let's ride with one of those medium runners, see if anyone dives into the pits. Not the leader, not the man in P2, not the man in P3. They stay out there. What is that? What is that? There we go. It's running down the middle of your screen. I believe that is a raindrop. Folks, I said there was a dark cloud there on the left hand side. I just didn't think it was actually going to happen. We're going to have rain. This makes things very, very interesting now. Throws previous strategies right out the window. If you're planning soft, medium, soft, medium, whatever the case may be, throw it out the window. You're now going to be using an intermediate tyre. Maybe that is why these leaders were extending this run as much as they were, because they were hoping to stop for the inter. Of course, the track won't be quite right for inters just yet. You can't dive into the pits and pick up inters the moment you see a raindrop, even if it is tempting. The racetrack simply won't be ready for those intermediates, so you've got to pick the right moment. Some of them coming into the pits already. Nismo into the pits. We're riding on board with Spikes as he comes into the pits. Surely they'll put on a set of intermediate tyres. Unless their team makes a horrible mistake. Busy pit lane now, trying to keep track of everything that's happening. Marsh Platoon into the pits, Top Gun into the pits. The rain has come and it has stirred the pot. Ah yes, an intervention is getting a definition of an intervention. Here on NFR, an intervention is something that forces itself into the race in an attempt to change the result. The leader's still out on track on a set of medium tyres. They know something the rest don't know, or they've made a mistake. One of the two. It's the driver in P3 is Virus. He's 21 seconds adrift, so should be enough time for both of these drivers to get into the pits, put on a fresh set of tyres and get back out there and hold on to these positions. Just depends how much longer they're going to stay out there. If you look at the gap, it is starting to fall, and you just see Weeze there going a little out of shape on the exit. That suggests time for the mediums is over. Almost certainly both of these cars will dive into the pits at the bottom of this hill. Here we go, confirmation P1 in the pits, P2 in the pits when they enter the pits. That gap is 19.5 seconds. Need about 20 seconds to do a pit stop here. It's going to be awfully close with Virus on the exit. Let's ride with Virus. Where is Virus? There is the Red Bull. He's going into the final corner right now. Will he take the lead of the race? We look for the leaders. There they are. They're on the exit. They're about to go over the speed limiter, and there's nothing they can do as they see their competitors fly by on the left. Virus leads the race for the first time. Nismo in P2. Spikes P3, where he's been a majority of the race, still with that penalty. And now the drivers who were fighting for P1 and P2, majority of the race, they're now down in 4 and 5. With a fresh set of tyres and a whole lot of pace. Confused there for a second. Visor making a comment directed at Virus, sitting a little bit away from my monitor, so I actually thought that was Visor giving himself a message. I thought it said "Let's go Visor." He's lost it. Virus still out front. Tian now has made up positions. Look at that, he's not messing around. Going for the positions now up into P2. Looking to get back to the front of this race. Weiss will be looking to do the same thing. He doesn't want to get tangled in these cars. He knows who he's racing. He's racing Tian. Tian has just gone into the lead of the race. Weiss has made up a position simultaneously. He goes up into P3. And now Virus, the man who led the race not so long ago, he's now the sandwich between Tian and Weiss, and he is no longer the sandwich between Tian and Weiss. Tian and Weiss back to P1 and P2 as they were in round 1. Now in these results, or rather in these conditions, this is when you can see interesting results. There's going to be a few drivers out here who really like driving in the rain. They'll be doing extra practice in the rain. They just like the conditions. Other drivers, they avoid the rain. They won't be doing any practice in the rain anytime soon. And then it starts to show. Sometimes drivers you expect in the midfield or towards the rear of the field all of a sudden have a blistering performance. Rain can be a bit of a leveler. Visor saying to Harsh Cartoon that he's talking about Visor. There are no driver aids in Formula 1. Traction control was outlawed at the end of the 1993 season. I have no idea what you're speaking about. Of course, that was one of the most, well, probably still the most advanced F1 car of all time. 1992 and 1993 Williams. Of course, those cars were fully loaded with launch control, traction control, active suspension, semi-automatic gearboxes. And it wasn't just any semi-automatic gearbox. It was a gearbox that you could literally switch between fully automatic and manual. If you're getting a bit tired of the gears in Monaco, you could just switch over. So at the end of 1993, all of those technical aids had to be removed from the cars. The F1 would have been a lot faster today if those aids had not been removed. Tian Wee's Virus. Virus doing a great job. We didn't speak too much about him earlier on in the race. It was all about Tian Wee's and Spikes. But now Virus has inserted himself into this battle for P3. While he's got Spikes applying the pressure, he does have the advantage that Spikes has a penalty next to his name, and so does the next driver, Nismo, now with 3 seconds next to his name. Of course, just a reminder to all of you, if you are having any problems with the stream, it could be multiple things, it could be from my side, it could be from your side, and all I can recommend is if your stream is buffering and it's affecting your race viewing, maybe rewind the stream a minute or two and it should sort out the problem. Rain still falls and the top 3 remain the same. Let's go and check up on the progress of the McLaren. Andre in P8. Last time we checked on him, he was in P10. Just the 1 point. Said he would like to get a few more than that. He is now on target to get a few more than that. He's in P8. Half a second adrift from Smurf. Conditions, the overtaking gets a little bit more difficult, a little bit more tricky. You're not 100% confident of where the grip is as you would be in the drive. And then of course you don't get the assistance of DRS. We've got a caution in sector 3. Have a quick glance at sector 3. I think that's a Williams. That's a Williams going slowly on the circuit, but that car is moving, so the cautions should disappear from our screen shortly. There we go. Lap 22 of 36. Still some way to go in this race. You were riding with Andre, the man in P8. Now you're riding with Levy, the man in P9. Sensor fault. Staying in the points for now. Ulrich P11, Disguised Barrett P12, Osh Cartoon. Probably the driver most mentioned in the comment section in NFR TV history. I just came up with that stat. I just came up with that record. But I'm pretty sure it's correct. The most commented on driver in NFR history. Is Captain Slow. Nothing slow about the 2 Ferraris earlier on this afternoon. They got a great result. P3, P4 for the pair of Ferraris. Lewis Hamilton almost getting his first official podium for Ferrari. Of course, he did get that 1 sprint victory. But he would also love to get himself on the podium for the Scuderia. Maybe the best time to do it would be Monza. This is Skull. He's had a race of mixed fortunes. Probably didn't qualify as high up the order as he would have liked. We've seen he's a driver that's made up so much progress in the last couple of seasons. Missed out on round 1. I think round 2 has not gone according to plan. And there is confirmation. Don't know how the team principal is going to feel about that. I've had enough of driving the car into the pits. I'm going to park it up. I'm on my way home. I'm not even staying for the driver's briefing. And well, Williams management are going to have to deal with him. This is the leader, Tion. This is Weeze. And look at the gap. 5.3 seconds. Dion disappearing into the distance. What does he know that the others do not? Absolutely flying. 5.5 seconds up the road. There we go, Death Queen. I think the messages are just a little delayed. Let me refresh on my side. Death Queen saying, oh, Skull. Hopefully Skull gets on that points table in round 3. What happens is the pressure just begins to build. Sort of like earlier on in Lando Norris's career when he simply couldn't get into turn 1 in P1 after starting from pole. I think his first 4 or 5 pole positions he lost P1 into turn 1. And the more you do it, the more the pressure builds, the more the rounds go on without you getting on the points, the more it builds up. He's just got to get that monkey off his back. He's just got to get a good performance in round 3. Anita, I didn't see your message and it's disappeared from my screen. So please do send it again. Don't know what happened to Virus's buddy. Virus brought us a new fan last week, but he seems to either not be here or he's very quiet. Asking the penalties. Can you explain the penalties to the newbies? Well, I'm not very good at explaining things, but I'm a terrible commentator. Let's see if we can do this. So basically, as a driver, you need to ensure that your car stays within the white lines on the outside of the circuit. If you cross those white lines, you get a warning. After getting 3 warnings, you will pick up a penalty for track limits. When you get a penalty, it's 3 seconds at a time. So we see Spikes, Nismo, Levy, Ulrich, Top Gun, all of those drivers with a 3-second penalty. But when you look at Disguised Bear, well, he's got 9. That means he's picked up 3 penalties and a total of 9 warnings. The other penalties you might see in the race is if a driver is unable to slow down while entering the pits. Speeding in the pit lane will cost you 10 seconds. So there are definitely lots of penalties on offer. It's not just about driving fast. It's about driving clean and of course staying within those lines. Staying within the extremities of the circuit. Not sure who it was, if it was Wheeze or if it was Big T, but somebody mentioned David Croft earlier on in the stream.
Good evening, David Croft here. Please remember to support NFR. You can do that by subscribing and hit that like button.
There we go, that was a message from not David Croft. Tian, Wheeze, Virus. Remember, this was the order we saw in round 1, and I said Wheeze would be looking to reverse it. Wheeze would be looking for a victory here in round 2 to equalize this championship. But the man that won round 1 is leading in round 2. And it's a comfortable lead, 6.1 seconds. If you're one of the drivers who is in the midfield with no penalties next to your name, well, we all know what you're hoping for. It's not that many more laps for you to get it. It's time to begin to pray to the commentary curse gods. Tian out front, Wheeze P2, Virus in P3, Spikes P4, Nismo P5. This top 5 have dominated the race so far. Pantry Star looking to get himself into that top 5, and he's not far off. He's just 4/10 off the rear. As mentioned before, overtaking is not as simple in the wet. Of course, grip can always be tricky. Always make a really silly mistake. And then there's no assistance from DRS. I thought if things really get interesting, we might see a drying racetrack towards the end of the race. Don't think we're going to see that. Raindrops are still falling, clouds still pretty dark. The race will probably end this way, at least under these conditions. It's another 3-second time penalty. So Spikes had 1 penalty for 3 seconds. He's picked up another 3 warnings, and that means the 3-second penalty is up to 6. It's the sort of thing that can really hurt you when you're running close in a race. Of course, you've got a massive gap to the car behind. Well, those penalties aren't really going to mean much. But if the gaps are close, that penalty can be the difference between P4 and P7. Guys are saying Oshkotu needs to get himself up into the top 10. You're running out of time. Let's get things going. Just 6 laps to go. Apparently you need to get yourself up into the top 10. Or you know what? What? You can't just put a comment like that in the comment section. You know what? What? I don't know what. Tell me. Tell me what. What is what? Wiser saying unsubscribe and dislike. I'm not watching. Very well, Wiser. Very well. But whose comment section would you destroy? Surely not. Unsubscribe, you've got to keep me over my 1,000 subscriber mark. I just got there the other day. We are riding with one of the 2 Ferraris, the only Ferrari in the points. Pantry Star, currently in P6, his teammate 10 positions down in P16. We've lost just the 1 driver. That was Skull. That was a voluntary DNF. Drove into the pits and called it a day. So 9 seconds there next to Disguised Bear, 6 seconds next to Spikes. All the other penalties you see on screen are just 3 seconds. Some of those 3-second penalties, they'll be far from getting a 6-second penalty. The others, they'll be flirting with a 6-second penalty. They'll be on those 2 warnings, and they'll know 1 more. And they're about to add some time to their race time. saying looks like rain till the end. It does look like rain till the end. Absolutely no break in the clouds. Just 3 laps to go. I think even if things did dry up at this stage, you'd hold on to track position and just stay out there. Dion and Weeze, they've gone over the line to start lap 33 of 36, so there's just 3 laps to go in this race, and what a race it's been. I don't think anyone expected the rain at the start of the race, but the rain has come and the rain has stayed. We now have a caution, lap 33 of 36. We do have a retirement. So I think it might just be a little bit too late in the race to trigger anything. So I think we just got away with that one. Lap 33 of 36. If that did trigger anything, well, it would be a nervous sprint to the end. But I don't think we're going to get it. I think it's about to disappear from our screens. Got now up into P11. He's told to get himself up into P10. Well, he's made up one of those 2 positions. I don't know if he's going to be able to make up the other. 9.8 seconds between him and the points. This is the lead McLaren, Andre in P7, his teammate down in P13. Just having a quick look through the field, is there any team? I think the only team in the top 10, with both cars in the top 10 rather, is Aston Martin. Good result for Aston Martin. Everybody else in the points flying the lone flag for their team. Like at this point in the championship, no constructor is evidently dominant. This is sense of fault, final man in the points. Gap to Hashkar 2 not so long ago, 9.8 seconds. It's now 10.8 seconds, which means Sense of Fault has either found a second or Hashkar 2 has lost a second. So the chances of getting into the points are even smaller at this stage. 35 of 36. Things are coming to a close. The man in P2, first stint of the race, he was matching Dion. Dion was matching him, and honestly I had no idea who was going to cross that line first, or if they would simply make contact and none of them would cross the line first. But Dion is going to start his final lap. Since the rain came down, he's been in a class of his own. He hasn't looked back. He's disappeared up the road. He's left everyone else to wonder what could have been. And now I can say safety car because we're on lap 36 of 36. If you're waiting for a safety car, it just never came. Sometimes you'll get 4 or 5 of them in a race. Other days, you'll get a race like this. Riding with the man in P2, 4.1 seconds, nothing he can do about the leader, unless the leader were to do something very silly into the final corner, and I don't think he's going to do that. There we go, Dion is going to enjoy his final run to the line, slowly over the line, don't slow down too much. And almost. That was a little bit too close. Tian goes over the line first, and then just 2 seconds behind him, Wheeze, that got a little too close for comfort. Still waiting for Spikes to come over the line. Of course, he's got a penalty next to his name, and Virus is not far behind, so I think he's going to lose that podium. And yes, he does. Virus promoted to the podium. Look at that, Spike's still falling down the order. Went from P3. I think I said in the stream it could be the difference between P3 and P7. Well, it's the difference between P3 and P6. Those penalties really do come back to hurt you. And of course, if we did have a safety car towards the end of the race, those penalties would have affected them so much worse. One Kick-Sauber went over the line in P1, and this is the last Kick-Sauber to go over the line, the last car to go over the line. Folks, we've made it through round 2. Hopefully this time we do get the results. We didn't get the results at the end of qualifying. Give me the results. Let's go. Give me the results. There's the podium. There we go. Driver of the day goes to Skulk. Skulk also picks up the most overtakes. Also picks up cleanest driver. Tian is the race winner, and the fastest lap goes the way of Wheeze. As for your results, Tian takes the victory as he did in round 1. This time he had to do it from P2 on the grid, but made it look easy. Wheeze in P2, nice result. P2 in round 1, P2 in round 2, keeping things consistent. Then Wheeze was in P2. I'm repeating myself. Then we go to Virus. He was in P3, Pantry Star P4. Andre, good result at the end. He finished in P5. Stuck through it. Then Spikes P6, Nismo P7, Smurf P8, Sensorfault P9, and Ulrich will be the last man to pick up a point. Outside of the top 10, we've got Harsh Cartoon, ever so close. P11 just missing out on the points. It's probably the position that hurts the most. Got Top Gun in P12, you've got Skulk in P13, even though he got all those accolades after the race. Skies Bear 14, Captain Slow 15, Lebby 16, and Skull. Well, Skull's already left the race circuit. And there we go, folks. That was SKR Season 12, Round 2. Luckily, I've got it there on the screen because I almost forgot. What a fantastic race it was. We had a really great first stint to the race. Actually, similar to the race we had in real life earlier on. Very, very close at the front. Very, very difficult to predict who was going to go on to win that race. Then the rain came right in the middle of where the pit window would have been. And it really mixed things up. But after the rain, there was no match for Tian. He disappeared up the road, and he never looked back. So, of course, now the attention here on NFR, it moves to Tuesday night. Tuesday night we have SAFRL, and it's going to be at this circuit. Of course, SAFRL have done Austria already once this season. Their season opener, Season 12, Round 1, was Austria in reverse. This time round, we'll be doing Austria the proper way round. And hopefully the drivers have taken a little bit of data, a little bit of practice from today, and they'll be able to apply that on Tuesday. I want to thank all of you who joined us here today. There were quite a few of you in the comment section. The viewers went up to 18 at a stage. So thank you to everybody. Both videos were pretty successful last week, both going over the 100 views mark. And of course, we've just crossed that 1,000 subscribers, and it's only because of all of you at home. So thank you all. I will be back on Tuesday. I'm going to leave a little bit of music playing. And until then, until next time, cheers.
Good evening, David Croft here. Please remember to support NFR. You can do that by subscribing and hit that like button.
Yo, it's SKR Season 12, let's ignite the track. Austrian Grand Prix, round 2, we attack. Fast flow, spit fire, no looking back. Time to roll at 6 p.m., yeah, that's a fact. Yo, Canada's where it kicked off, round 1 in the fray. Big T dropped the hammer, Sauber's king today. 25 points, he's the boss leading the pack. We's in second, Mercedes bringing that smack. Defending champ from Laven, he's a lyrical beast. Jonas with the fastest lap, Red Bull unleashed. Pantry starts cooking, Ferrari's in the mix. I'm spitting these bars faster than them hairpin tricks. SKR, asphalt assault, tires screaming loud. Pedal to the metal, rising through the crowd. From Canada's cold streets to Austria's fight, Season 12 domination, we own the night. Yeah, rev it up, let it rip, no slack. Yeah, yeah, SKR Kings attacking back. Red Bull rings the battlefield, 6 p.m.'s the call. 4.3 miles, 10 turns, we ball. Pandas in the game, steel grip on the wheel. Nismo's in the shadows, chasing that deal. 12 races deep, Britain to Japan. Reverse layout slip, yo, it's the racer's plan. Styrian hills echo the crowds in a roar. I'm dropping these rhymes like I'm burning the floor. SKR, asphalt assault, tires screaming loud. Pedal to the metal, rising through the crowd. From Canada's cold
Liza, leave Harsh Cartoon alone now. Poor man, poor man.
The champ last year's crown still gleams, but Big Git teased the threat, living out his dreams. Jonas and the Bulls, they're gunning for the throne. Ferrari's pantry star, never racing alone. Every lap's a battle, mud and steel collide. SKR's the rhythm where the legends reside. I'm rapping this fast, like the speed of the race. Leaving haters in the dust, putting them in their place. SKR, asphalt assault, tires screaming loud. Pedal to the metal, rising through the crowd. From Canada's cold streets to Austria's fight, Season 12 domination, we own the night.
Good night, Death Queen. See you on Tuesday night.
SKR Kings attacking back. Yo, round 2's in the books, 6 p.m.'s a sound. SKR legacy built, we're the talk of the town. From the track to the mic, we're setting it straight. 2025's our year, sealing our fate. Rev it up, let it rip, no end. SKR forever till the race transcends.
And remember, before you go, it's free. Leave a like on the video. Absolutely free.
And y'all, he thought he'd shine, but oh sweet son, Max chewed him up like a 2-day run. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all he got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Daddy Rick tried with his big old grin, but Max spun him out, said I always win. Gasly and Albon, they took their turn, crashed and burned, oh how they yearned. Perez hung on till his tires were flat, now Williams gone, imagine that. 2 races and a teardrop, that's all we got. 5 faster than a jackrabbit shot. Max destroyed another teammate. It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. Red Bull barn's a lonely place. If you ain't Max, you're out of the race. Liam packed his boots, said I'm done, I reckon. Max just smirked, next victim's beckoning.
The pit crew sang, he's too dang fast. Every teammate's a thing of the past. Now Lawson's back with the juice. I think I'd beat that god. Max the shadow looms so tall and wide. Another teammate's pride just died. From Daniel Pierre out of Checo too. Liam learned what we all knew.
What's wrong with the like button?
That's all he got.
That's the last thing I need to break.
It's plain to see from Ricciardo to Lawson, he's a one-man spree. So here's to Liam with a beer at his side, 2 races down and a wide-eyed try. Max keeps winning that Dutch tornado, Red Bull's second seat, a big oh no.
I see Tian there in the chat. Sorry I didn't contact you there, Tian. I got a little bit too into the race and I actually completely forgot. I just went into Discord a minute ago and you were gone already. But Tian, well done on your race. Winner in round 1, winner in round 2. It's looking good so far.
Turn on the screen, it's NFR. Feel the rush like a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream. Fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama, every turn on NFR. The rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Tracks driving far, where the races never end, and that only friend. Not Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks driving far, where the races never end, and that only friend. Not Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end.
I assure you, Death Queen, there's nothing wrong with my memory. Sometimes I just get too into the race that I'm watching. I could probably name the world champions in my head all the way back to probably 1988. So my memory is still working.
Sunday night, 6 p.m. Oh yeah, engines roar, lights go dim. Yeah, drama's high, hearts are race. Ooh, feel the heat, feel the pace. Oh yeah, speed and thrill, never slow. Zoom, zoom. Champions rise, they all know. They know. In the night, we come alive. Oh, SKR, we will drive. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned. Dayton's night, under lights. Oh yeah, every turn, every fight. Pulse is racing, here we go. at 6. Fix. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Yeah, the best. Tires burn on the bends. Burn. Rivals clash, no amends. Oh no, cheering crowd, feel the sound. Woohoo! SKR, world renowned. Yeah, the best.
Well, gather round, folks, let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry.
He really does look like Woody from Toy Story.
He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that mill. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end, he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not
God,
that
it's
great.
broken.
Oh George,
It's broken.
oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh, how that boy can cry.
Okay, apparently now I'm getting called Danny Rick. Just so you know where the Not Fernando name came from, everyone started calling me Fernando and my name was not that. So that's where the name Not Fernando came in. And I'm not changing it to Not Ricardo.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone Town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold.
I am stupid. I switch off everything.
excited folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run